Hello, Nick. You may be wondering, who am I, and how do I know your name? Well, I'm you, but from the future. Right now, it's 2050, and you might be also wondering, why is all my clothes inside out? Well, in 2050, the new trend is to wear all your clothes inside out. It's your shirt, your pants, your socks, anything you wear, except shoes, I guess. And in 2050, it's really improved. It's moved faster after the few years of your life, and now it's breathtaking. There's flying cars, floating buildings, holographic computers. You imagine it, and if you name it, we have it. Well, this video isn't here to talk about what the world is now. It's to give you advice on what you need to improve to better this time right now. And it showed a lot in your MPX 10 class, which you're probably in right now. Let's start off with humanities. The first thing was your spoken word poetry project. That one was where you had to write a spoken word poem based off of a civil right, and you got to choose it, and we chose racism, I believe. And it really showed your creative side to things. Using figurative language that you created by yourself was really impressive, and it really showed how creative you can think. And one of my favorite similes that you put was the racist thoughts travel through generations like water travels through rocks in a stream, effortless and ever flowing. That really showed how creative you could write, in my opinion, and it will really help you in the future. And spoiler alert, you own your own tech company. And in this time, it's hard owning your own tech company because technology is moving forward very fast. So you gotta keep up with the times and think creatively to come up with new and unique ideas for you to develop. Another thing that you had was your Paideas, and it wasn't ever our strong suit, I think. We definitely improved over the semester, and it really showed when it came to the end of the kindred Paideia things. And because you tended to speak a lot more. You spoke out and you said your opinion on the book, you stated things that might be important, and that's going to really help you in the future, because especially in your customer care section of your job, because you have to be able to speak out and help your customers, or they'll leave you, and that'll be bad for your job. I'm not saying you're terrible at it, but you still need to work on it. Another thing was your STEM class. Near the end of the semester, I think it was the Santa's Little Helpers project, if I'm correct, it really showed your teamwork skills and how you're able to keep your group together, work efficiently, and it will really help you in the future, because no matter what time you're in, where you are, what job you have, you're always going to have to work with people, and it's really essential for that to happen. And a good example of your teamwork in that project was when the measurements were a little off on your trebuchet, which you had to build. You and your team worked together to figure out the right lengths to cut, and that was really good teamwork in my opinion, and it really showed your skills, and I think you could still improve on it. You can still get better by continuing to work with other people, and eventually you'll get to the place where I am right now. Another project we had was the Chem and Conflict project. That one, we had to research about a chemical that was found in our time, or your time technically, and the past. Ours was methane, if you remember, and you really showed that you really needed to prove your time management, because you had a lot of work to do. You had a lot of research to do on your chemical, and you and your partner kind of slacked in the beginning, and you didn't really manage your time well. You didn't spread out what work you had to do on when. You didn't really plan it out, so you didn't know when to do your work, and that's not gonna work in the future, because owning a business is hard, and you need to be able to manage your time well, because there's a lot of work that comes with owning your own business. There's a lot of papers to do. There's a lot of things that would require you to manage your time well. The last class that you had was the Applied Digital Media class, and you had to work on the cyanotypes. This relates to your chemical output project because the cyanotype was a part of it, and you really showed organization with that, because the cyanotypes took a lot of trial and error, because it's kind of an old-fashioned kind of way of printing pictures, and it basically used a negative and a chemical that's light sensitive. So basically you had a lot of trials to do, and you had a lot of work, papers that you had with it that you needed to keep together and organized, and that you did well. You didn't really lose anything, and it really showed in the final product when you had to present it, because you needed to show all your trials, and you had them all ready, you had them all organized where you didn't lose them, and that's going to really help in the future, because you're really gonna, if you can't keep organized, you're gonna be stressing out, everything's gonna be jumbled around, and yeah. The other project you had was the magazine design project, and basically you and two of your other group members had to design a 24-page magazine with articles about your interests. So this really showed your procrastination side, and I've known for many years that you're not really good at that. You tend to procrastinate a lot, and you really need to work on it, because in the beginning of the project you really didn't do a lot of work, and you guys like fooled around, and then when it came to the end you really kicked in gears and you kind of stressed out a little bit for some parts. This won't work in the future. Everything will get harder and harder as you grow older. You'll go into college, there's more work. Once you get your own job, there's more work. You can't procrastinate. If you procrastinate, it's not going to end well for you. It's going to end with stressful nights and a lot of work to do in a short amount of time. I forgot one thing, too. There's one last trait that I had to talk about. And surprisingly, it's not about school. It's anything, and it's judo. Judo really taught you a good lesson, and it's perseverance. Because in judo, when you get thrown or pinned, you need to get back up and continue fighting. That's the only way you'll grow. If you get thrown and pinned and you just lay there and you don't try to improve yourself, you won't get anywhere. This will help you, because with your company and this time period, technology is at an all-time high, and there's a lot of tough competition. And when your competition knocks you down or one-ups you, you can't just let it be, or you can't just stay at the place that they knocked you down to. You need to persevere and try your best to improve yourself, improve your company, and get back up to where you were. And that's the only way you can grow from it. Overall, I would highly recommend that you take a lot of the advice I gave you in this video and try to improve yourself over the years until 2050.